FM 94, The Dark. It is that time again. It's time to get to know a band we play here on The Dark. And tonight I'm talking to a couple of members of the band called The Broken Thumbs. And in fact, you said, Jay-Z, The Broken Thumbs. I've heard that band. That's because this week they're a part of the Rock in the Dark New Music Poll. So they're hoping this interview gets them lots of votes. And that means they'll be put into full rotation here at the radio station for the next 3 months. I'll bring in Ryan and Kelton. How you guys doing, by the way?
Fantastic. How about you, Jay-Z?
Hey, we're doing pretty good here in Little Falls. Been a little bit stormy today. In fact, I think earlier today we had a tornado warning just to the west of us here. So, a little bit stormy, but we can handle that. How's it over in Washington? It looks like you're in Eastern Washington. Is that where you're at?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it looks about the same. Not quite as dangerous out here, but just as gloomy. Hopefully, we'll make it through the end of the interview.
That's good. That's okay. Yeah, exactly. Well, dangerous might be your music. Let's talk about this. And what's really cool about this band, I guess. I mean, I've heard one song from you so far. It's called Oxygen, which we're spinning right now on our Rock in the Dark New Music Poll, where people can vote for and vote for their favorite song. But the vibe of this song is really unique, really cool. I guess let's talk about the band, and I don't care who wants to start here, either you, Ryan, or you, Kelton. Talk about the makeup of the band, and how did this band all come about?
So the band actually kind of started by accident. Ryan was drumming in another band, and I've been like a DJ and remixer for the better part of the last decade. And just randomly one day, Ryan came up to me. We both played a festival, and just said, "Hey, would you want to have me drum, while you DJ'd for one of your sets?" And we thought it was a great idea. Fast forward about 10 months later, we ended up opening for a show for David's band, and we didn't actually get to practice. We just went out there and kind of winged it, and everybody thought it was like this, really polished, great thing, and David was just chomping at the bit, wanting to do something with us, and then we ended up putting the Broken Thumbs together.
Very cool, very cool. Now, the name, I got to ask it, it's really cool. I like the name, and one of the guys who works at the radio station said, I really think this is a cool name. I want to know what the story is behind it. What is the story behind the band name, The Broken Thumbs?
So David actually came up with the band name. Basically, while he was, still in his last band, communication kind of went south, and one of the last text messages he sent to them said, well, if you guys aren't responding, either you're all big jerks or all your thumbs are broken. And then he was like, oh, great band name. And then right after that, here we are.
There you are. Here you are today, huh? Well, that's cool. Cool. So now we know the story of the band, The Broken Thumbs, and how it came about, at least, and also the name. Hey, Ryan, let's get you involved in here. Go ahead. Say that again, Ryan.
Oh, not quite as exciting of an origin story as that.
Well, it's okay. It goes. It works. Eventually you'll polish that story. You'll have a bunch of lies in about 10 years about it when you're big, right?
Oh, totally.
That's how it works in the industry, right? What I was going to do is I was going to add you in, Ryan. Let's talk about your sound a little bit here, I guess. And, like I said, I can only go right now with the Oxygen song that you guys are currently spinning on our airwaves. But the uniqueness of the sound, explain the sound, I guess, to the listener, and kind of your take of your band, I guess. You're not just a rock band, but you almost have a lot of electronicness in it. Would you agree on that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that definitely wasn't by accident. Like Kelton said, the way we started, I was just wanting to drum over his DJ set because I'd done that in the past, and it's so much fun. David and I had been in, varying bands over the years. I've been in metal and rock and pop and all kinds of stuff, but none of us had ever really gotten together and done something that's more electronically driven. And we just wanted to kind of see what we could come up with, with our collective influences, being, from Glitch Mob to Deftones to Thrice, things like that. We just kind of wanted to combine all those things and see what we could come up with, for fun for ourselves. And
I guess one way to describe it is kind of like rock music with an electronic pulse behind it. And, most of it, I guess, would start with, we'll throw together some of the electronic elements and structure the song. We'll all sit around our laptops and come up with stuff, and then we'll kind of layer on that live rock aesthetic as we go from there, and it just kind of takes its form that way. And we never really know where it's going to go once we start, but it always ends up being something that's been a fun process, and we're happy with how it turns out, I guess.
That sounds really cool to do that. Just kind of throw it together and it comes out into the product that you have. And what I haven't heard much of this on the radio. This kind of music. I mean, I can think of a little bit of maybe kind of a Skrillex kind of sound a little bit. But what do you guys? What would you compare it to that's playing right now, even on the airwaves when it comes to rock radio? Is there anything to compare it to?
Oh man,
we get the closest ones we get a little bit of Imagine Dragons, sometimes Muse.
Okay. Yeah.
Muse is probably more close to home.
Linkin Park without so much of the hip hop delivery.
Yeah, the rap. Yep.
Yeah, and even a little bit of Nine Inch Nails, a little bit. Obviously, we can't compare ourselves to any of these amazing acts, but I guess when people try to associate the sound to something they're familiar with, it's kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, it's nice to be brought up in the conversation.
Sure.
It's usually within those couple acts where we're usually, feeling in the same realm.
Very flattering, but we're not worthy.
Well, no, but the cool thing about even mentioning that, even on these airwaves today, is that so all of a sudden it goes to somebody listening that's never heard you before. Oh yeah, I dig those artists you just mentioned. So yeah, maybe I'll give you guys a listen, give you a shot.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and so do we. Definitely.
Hey, that's the thing. Let's talk about the industry right now. And it's tough for new bands, up and coming bands. And this is what I do for a living here at the radio station is I interview up and coming bands. I guess what have you seen out there? And you guys haven't been around that long. What are you, a little over a couple of years old? Is that what you guys are right now?
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Talk about the industry right now through your eyes and kind of maybe the direction that you see it, or how you guys can maybe help this out or influence the rock industry a little bit.
Yeah, man. Like Ryan was saying, this all kind of happened, by accident. We were just trying to, come up with something, new and different that we all, kind of hadn't heard before. So it's been definitely a big learning experience for me. David and Ryan have been in multiple bands, all over the years, and I've just been, running around DJing in nightclubs for, quite a while. So this is all kind of new to me. We were fortunate enough to go to the Radio Rock Awards convention down in Vegas.
Yeah.
So we got to, talk to a couple of other upcoming bands. We actually met the guys from Ashes to New. They were awesome. Got to meet folks from Stitched Up Heart, a couple other bands. Met some of the dudes from Three Doors Down and POD.
Labels and radio.
Yeah.
Really good learning experience.
Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. And the kind of general consensus there was, as an industry, we really need to, put our effort into, and is very fortunate into, guys like us, because, they were talking about some of the bigger acts, coming out with songs and then getting played automatically, and sometimes, there's not that good. Every now and then, artists will have a misstep. So the key really is to, keep your ears open, because, you're getting, with the advent of the internet, people are getting all over the place, and, there's a lot of gems out there, present company included,
Yeah.
One big point that came up during one of the panels down there also, I won't mention the fellow who said it just in case he doesn't want to be called out or whatever, but he made a really good point, which was eye-opening to us as well as a lot of other people in the room, is that the focus is so heavy on just getting to that number one that it's just shot straight to number one, like all the effort put in to get it there, and then once it hits that, everyone just kind of like, all right, we did it. All right, what's the next one? And it's just, he was talking about how there wasn't as much focus on the development and
Right.
finding those songs, because when you mentioned like number one tracks used to be, if they were good, they were up there for weeks and weeks and weeks, months on end sometimes.
Yeah.
And he was saying how he kind of misses that, how, maybe upping the quality a little bit. And it was just really interesting to hear that from a guy on the radio side of things, talking to people on the label side of things, and just basically telling like we all need to kind of come together and figure out how we can, bring some quality into the mix, I guess. Not that there isn't now, but it was, just a really, really eye-opening conversation.
Well, you're dead right when you say that about a number one song being on the charts. In fact, I did an interview last week with a band called Fall of Humanity, and we talked about this, and I even brought it up to them. It says it's very rare that a rock record stays on the number one spot for more than a few weeks. It rotates so much that you don't have the 16, 18, 19 weeks at number one anymore. It's such a rotating, revolving door that you do have to, as you mentioned, build the brand overall, not just through a one-hit wonder, a number one song. So it's great to hear that from a band that's an up-and-coming, because I think that's the way the industry is going to be here in the future. And what's exciting for me to hear, and I know you guys went down to the radio convention down there put on by Radio Contraband, and that is that programmers, I believe, like myself, are starting to give bands like you a fair shot again, whereas I think back in say 5 years ago even, we really didn't care so much about the new up-and-coming bands. Not myself, but a lot of programmers, they were basically looking at, it was the guy in the suit that was in New York or Dallas telling us what to play, and that's what it had to be.
Right.
So
yeah, it's kind of cool. It's really cool, actually, and we're very grateful for that. It does actually seem like, the people are kind of opening their minds a bit more again to try to, salvage and bring back, what's so good about this industry, and being able to share and celebrate, people pursuing their dream and expressing themselves and getting the art out there to everybody, and, just making sure that it's got some backing and everyone's,
Yeah, I agree, and it's great. It's
it
is, and it's great to see though. What's great to see though is just even like last weekend, you had Rock on the Range. You had 120,000 plus people there. It's sold out. I mean, you get these big rock concerts and festivals. People are clamming to them, wanting to go to them. So rock, to me, is really making a comeback.
It really is, absolutely.
It's good timing for us.
Absolutely. We're talking with the band, the Broken Thumbs. We're talking with Ryan and Kelton. Now, have you guys done much, shows, touring at all? Or are you guys pretty much in-house so far, for the most part, so far?
Well, so far it's been a lot closer to home as we're kind of developing and building this whole thing. But we've got things planned and lined up to venture kind of as like an outward spiral from where we are, making our way farther and farther out each time, and hopefully visiting lovely places such as Little Falls, Minnesota, that are playing our music. So for now, we're definitely still in the infant stages, but that's all changing with this summer and beyond. So there's a lot of plans, a lot of things in motion. It's exciting, but it's kind of a lot of hurry up and wait at this point.
Right. Well, one thing that's cool, I know you mentioned Little Falls, Minnesota here, which we're kind of in the middle of nowhere kind of deal, but we're in central Minnesota. A cool thing that we have, though, is we have this festival just 15 miles south of us called Midway Jam, and they have really changed. It used to be kind of like an 80s rock kind of deal. Well, obviously the 80s, the guys now are, in wheelchairs and, all that kind of stuff, are not even together anymore. They've actually changed it, and this year they've gone a lot younger, and I mean, they're bringing in like like the Seethers, the Buck Cherries, the Theory of a Dead Man, Skillets, 10 Years, bands like that, and even up-and-coming bands now. So that might be something maybe in the future that you can even make it right around our area here and check out that festival.
Well, Jay-Z, if you put in a good word for us, we sure would hate it.
You know what? I will definitely put in a good word for you, and we'll definitely try to make that happen next year. Let's talk about a little bit more about your band here and kind of the direction you guys are going for CDs, albums. What is the next step here for you guys?
The next step, well, the first step was our Fight EP. If you, as it's read as hashtag Fight EP, but that seems a little heavy-handed to me, so I just like to call it our Fight EP. That's got 6 songs on it. One that we've written and recorded over the span of the last year and a half or so. From there, we're planning on putting out a full-length record. We're tentatively calling it The Disconnect, which will feature some songs from Fight EP, maybe retooled, re-recorded, let's kind of see how that goes, but then with a lot of new material that we're currently working on right now. I know, obviously, it's all new material to everybody at this point,
right.
But, so yeah, the next step is to get Disconnect out there. With the Fight EP, though, we had the physical copies on CD and digital and all that stuff, but we also put it on these thumb drives. We called it the Broken Thumb Drives.
Yeah, nice.
Which included the music and a lot of other media, pictures, video, and stuff like that, just to kind of try to mix it up a little bit. And so the people seem to like those. It was just something a little different we wanted to try. So there might be some more tricks like that we try to bust out.
Yeah, and we're also working on really beefing up our stage production because. As I mentioned, with having that, pretty heavy electronic component, it gives us a little more leeway on, how we can present the music. And what we're working on now is just trying to basically do justice to, the kind of stuff that we've created to make sure that the visual matches the music. We want the response to be, oh my gosh, have you heard these guys? And then also, oh my gosh, have you seen these guys?
Right.
So we feel like we're halfway there.
That's all right. You're basically making yourselves as you go along is what you're saying.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Which is cool. We're talking with the band The Broken Thumbs. They're a band out of Eastern Washington, and we're talking with Ryan and Kelton. And I mentioned your song Oxygen. It is part of our Rock of the Dark New Music Poll. And I forgot, but it's actually going up against From Ashes to New. And you had mentioned you had talked to those guys. So you're in competition, I guess, with them this week. And it's been pretty heated right now between you two bands, From Ashes to New and The Broken Thumbs. How are we going to make sure you beat those guys this week?
And we're running around all over Eastern Washington, letting everybody know. I'm making sure when I'm playing my club gigs, I'm letting people know. We're grassroots all the way. And like I said, we met those guys down in Vegas at the Radio Contraband event. And they're great dudes. They got a pretty cool sound, and they put on a great show down there too.
Yeah, we're gonna kidnap them and threaten them to make sure that they tell all their fans to vote for us too.
There you go. I love it. Hey, give us the history or the story behind the song Oxygen. What's the meaning behind this song?
So Oxygen, that was a little different on the way that it came about. Basically, we kind of started playing around with wanting to go. Basically, we've written about 4 or 5 songs, and we thought, okay, we want to go a little bit harder on this next one. So the music really took hold kind of before the lyrics did. So basically, we got the song fleshed out for the most part. With how heavy we wanted to go, but we gave it a lot of breathing room so that when David was writing his lyrics, he could kind of go in any direction he wanted to. So the meaning could be, from A to Z, and the way that he chose to interpret it was, taking it more of a political route. The people down low looking at the people up top, kind of in charge. Seeing, they're talking too much, they're up there, wasting oxygen. So that was kind of the crux of the song and where the title came from also.
Very cool. Very cool. I know you guys are about ready to have to go back to work because I think you were at break working at a local store there, so I'll have to let you go here. But let's find out how you can get more information about the band, The Broken Thumbs. So if somebody's listening and they're interested in finding out more, how can they go about doing that with you guys?
Yeah, best thing to do, thebrokenThumbs.com, and then all of our social media is just The Broken Thumbs. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Bandcamp, we're all over the place. It's just The Broken Thumbs. We wanted to make it, real easy to track us down. So if you search for us, make sure to search The Broken Thumbs. If you just type in Broken Thumbs, you're getting a lot of WebMD stuff.
There's also iTunes, stream us on Spotify, the Pandoras, and Apple Music, all that stuff.
Yep, you can find us on Shazam, where we are everywhere and anywhere right now, pretty much.
How about for you guys personally? Have you guys ever been to Minnesota, either one of you?
I have spent 2 hours in the Minneapolis airport.
Okay, well.
It was very exciting. I got to see a lot of cool stuff. Met a lot of cool people. Other than that, I haven't really spent a whole lot of time there, unfortunately, but I'm really hoping that's going to change here in the very near future.
Well,
my Minnesota experience was driving through it at night on a cross-country journey. So nice highways. That's all I can surmise. But again, hopefully that'll change soon. Spend a little bit more time there and make some noise.
Well, hopefully we could get you up here maybe next year for that jam I'm talking about, Halfway Jam, and that'd be awesome. And everybody around here in central Minnesota can check out The Broken Thumbs. That sound good?
Well, we'd love it. That's fantastic.
Definitely.
Hey, a lot of fun talking with you guys, Ryan and Kelton. Thanks so much for joining me here on The Dark, and we're going to play your latest song, Oxygen, which, by the way, is part of the Rock of the Dark New Music Poll, so we got to keep those votes going, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, vote for us. Keep it up.
All righty. Thanks so much for joining me, by the way.
Thank you, JZ. Really appreciate it, man.
Thanks, JZ.
Hey, once again, that is Ryan and Kelton, and they're with the band The Broken Thumbs. The song is called Oxygen. It's part of the Rock of the Dark New Music Poll. You can vote for it. You can do it once per hour all the way up until Monday. So start voting. You're hearing it right now on FM 94's The Dark.